Hello. Today, I'd like to talk about the project Self-Reliance Project for Vulnerable People, based on civil empowerment in Rwanda Phase 2, that KOICA and Global Civic Sharing implemented for 3 years from 2018 to 2020. Let's take a look at the background of the project, what it was like, and the results of the project, and what it learned from it. Everyone, do you know Rwanda? The Switzerland of Africa. Rwanda is full of little green hills. It's called the land of 1,000 hills because of its beautiful natural landscape. Based on this environment, 70% of Rwandans are employed in agriculture, which is a key industry that contributes over 30% of the country's GDP. However, the poverty rate in rural Rwanda is 48.7%, which is more than twice as high as the urban poverty rate of 22.1%. To address this, the Rwandan government has been actively promoting rural development since 2000, prioritizing the modernization of agriculture, increasing agriculture production, supporting the poorest, and improving infrastructure. Nevertheless, rural poverty remains an urgent problem in Rwanda, with 51.7% of the population living on less than $1.90 per day as of 2020, and a 35.2% prevalence of malnutrition as of 2019. As you can see, tackling poverty has long been a major challenge for the African nation of Rwanda, but specific efforts are being made to address the problem and improve the lives of the people. Improving people's access to financial services as a way out of poverty is a national concern in Rwanda. This is because people's savings and borrowing activities can lead to increased access to and investment in the means of production, which can help alleviate poverty. Therefore, the government and NGOs have been working together for a long time to address this issue. KOICA, in collaboration with Global Civic Sharing, has been implementing the Self-Reliance Project for Vulnerable People based on civil empowerment in Rwanda Phase 2 project since 2015. The program's signature element, self-help groups, encourages residents to save voluntarily and use their savings to create economic opportunities. The first phase of the project was carried out until 2017 in the Rwanda sector of Kimoni district, one of the poorest areas in Rwanda, and in 2018, the second phase of the project began, with a wider range of activities designed to reflect improvements from the previous project. In the second phase of the project, 10 groups were added to increase the participation of vulnerable groups from the previous 30 groups. Let's take a closer look at how KOICA and Global Civic Sharing implemented the project. KOICA and Global Civic Sharing implemented a project to promote self-help activities for poor farmers based on community organizations to achieve the goal of reducing the number of poor households in Rwanda sector, Kimoni district, one of the poorest areas in Rwanda. The self-help group activities, which consisted mainly of savings and microcredit activities, were shared with residents through briefing sessions and performance sharing sessions, which led to high participation of residents and significant results in increasing residents' assets. In addition, KOICA and Global Civic Sharing conducted activities to improve agricultural technology, build agricultural infrastructure, and improve adult literacy. First of all, in the case of agricultural technology improvement activities, KOICA and Global Civic Sharing trained and educated agricultural advisors and farmer teachers to improve farming methods for pilot farmers. KOICA and Global Civic Sharing also strengthened agricultural infrastructure by supporting irrigation facilities such as water tanks and water pumps, and provided education to improve residents' literacy skills. As a result, KOICA and Global Civic Sharing achieved our goals, both in terms of diversification of crops grown by farmers and in terms of the number of people who received literacy education. However, during the project, KOICA and Global Civic Sharing also faced unexpected challenges. The COVID-19 pandemic made it difficult to carry out the project normally. In response, the program was able to successfully achieve its goals by responding quickly to the crisis by supporting mobile book lending services instead of face-to-face literacy education. What are the outcomes of the Rwanda Self-Reliance Project that the evaluation team identified through literature review and field interview surveys? KOICA and global civic sharing exceeded most of the project's performance indicators, such as the rate of self-help group goal attainment, retention of initial self-help group members, and the number of participants who achieved their savings goals. In addition, the results of the self-assessment surveys the evaluation team collected showed that participation in the program had a significant impact on savings and borrowing decisions and improved asset levels. In other words, by participating in self-help group activities, households were able to save and borrow more actively and their asset levels increased. The evaluation team also analyzed the use of loans by households and found that most of them were used for productive purposes, such as purchasing agricultural inputs, expenses for education, and costs for clearing arable land. In addition, in the other activities mentioned earlier, the targets for the number of farmer teachers trained and the number of people receiving literacy education were met. How were KOICA and global civic sharing able to make such a difference? The evaluation team's research analyzed three main reasons for the success of the project. First, to encourage self-help group participation, global civic sharing held a total of 17 self-help group performance sharing meetings in the region, with an initial member retention rate of 97.5%. The regular sharing of the project's needs and progress with local residents is believed to have had a positive impact on the sustainability of the project. Second, global civic sharing identified that the low literacy rate in the project sites was a hindrance to participation in community organizations through the first phase of the project, and tried to solve the diagnosed problem by introducing literacy education activities based on the lessons of the previous project in the second phase. In other words, by organizing the project components to overcome the obstacles to participation, the project enhanced residents' willingness to participate in the project. This also means that KOICA's civil society cooperation program is helping to improve the local expertise of the implementing organizations through multi-year support. Third, the fact that global civic sharing appropriately reflected local demand and local government policies, and selected the main activity, use of savings and loans, based on the expertise of the implementing organizations, was an operational factor. How can KOICA and global civic sharing make a better difference in the future? The evaluation team suggested two areas for improvement. First, we analyzed the participation in the project in detail by class and found that those in the top 25% of the asset level in 2017 were likely to have a higher propensity to participate in the project. This suggests that project participation and effectiveness may have been different by class. When planning similar projects in the future, it is necessary to consider various aspects of vulnerability from the design stage to enhance the project participation of various vulnerable groups. Second, while we find that the receipt of agricultural education itself was associated with higher agricultural income, the effect of such education did not seem to be sufficiently diffused within the community. Therefore, additional efforts are needed not only to train farmer teachers and agriculture advisors, but also to spread the effects of the training within the community. Through this evaluation, we learned about the Self-Reliance Project for Vulnerable People based on Civil Empowerment in Rwanda Phase 2 project. In your opinion, what further efforts are needed to improve this project? Please share your thoughts in the comments so that KOICA's project can help create sustainable development in rural areas of developing countries. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and set notifications for more evaluation content. This end-of-project evaluation was conducted by an external evaluation agency and reviewed by KOICA's Independent Committee for Evaluation Quality Assessment Panel for Evaluation Quality. This end-of-project evaluation was conducted by SNU RNDB Foundation.